Hi, Dagobert from Dagobert Tackle World here with Stuart Grice
From Dagobert Tackle World.
and the team downstairs.
That's it.
We're going to fill you in on this weekend. Stuart, the weather is
The
a
sun
little bit better.
Oh yeah, the sun is shining,
Swells up,
swells up, water's dirty,
bars are off.
bars are up. So we're halfway there.
We're
We're not
halfway
fully
there.
there.
Well, yeah, not
Yeah.
as bad as last week with the bars. Very, very rough and it was
Yeah.
raining and like 30, 40 knots. So this weekend, tomorrow is forecast to be really light winds, which is around about sort of less than 10 knots. A little bit of southwest in it. Started off subtly in the morning, then it drops back to a southwest about 10 knots. It might be 15 knots at daylight, but it'll drop out pretty quick. And in the afternoon, it drops right out to about 2 knots or 3 knots. The swell, though, unfortunately, is about 2 to 2.5 metres in the morning. So,
Yeah. And we've got a high tide at about 7-ish.
I think 8. I think maybe.
Yeah,
Or somewhere
around
there.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at that time, going out in the morning, I wait to daylight so you can see if there's any waves breaking in the seaway. And then when you do get out, it's your choice whether you come back before the tide starts running out too hard, because it will be ugly.
And yeah,
Even with no wind, it could be a bit ugly.
I'd say make it very quick if you're going to do it.
Yeah, do it quick. But if that swell starts to drop out pretty quick, though,
Stay out.
Yeah, stay out. But I don't think it will, because the forecast for Sunday is 1.8 metres of swell, so it's still up a bit on Sunday. Sunday is a howling westerly, comes in about 15 to 20 knots at 7 a.m, so
Yeah.
it's pretty bad. So you might be able to fish in close for tail on the back of the beaches, or maybe try for mackerel on the Mermaid Reef or something like that.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be venturing too far out in that wind. Yeah, or maybe cobia. A few whales around here too.
Yeah, so whales
Yeah.
have started, so
Yeah.
that's about the only good thing that the whales bring is the cobia.
And speed bumps. That's right. Okay, so I'm talking about swell speed bumps.
Yes.
Yeah. So this weekend, if you did get a chance to get out, and you do have a chance to have a troll, there are mackerel, there's still wahoo,
Still mackerel,
there's
wahoo.
yellowfin,
Yep.
everything's still out there, guys. And the diamond reef down at the gravel patch has been really good. Even mermaid and palmy's been okay. You just got to get out there and just be really careful. I wouldn't probably do a bar crossing tomorrow morning, I don't think.
No.
As in palmy, Talabudra, or even Tweed, maybe a bit dangerous.
A little bit big.
Yeah, so just be careful. But if you are getting out, I'd go back to trolling lures, just like so. Get down deep and troll them at around about that sort of.
Yeah.
6
If you
to
actually
7
want to
knots.
catch a fish while you're trolling, you put the coral trout one on, because the water is dirty, and these ones dive very deep, and it's bright, and it goes under all the dirty water. It's in the clean water, and they're going to absolutely smack it.
Sounds great, Stuart. Okay, so
Or that one works too.
the
Look,
yellowfin. That's
it's
I like the yellowfin.
It's not so much the colour. The colour does make a difference, I believe, but
Yep.
it's more the action of the lure and the depth that it swims. It needs to dive
Yeah,
deep.
no, it
Because
does.
mackerel are deep at the moment.
And Stuart is right, the dirty water's on top and the clean water's down the bottom. But when you get a good colour that's very natural, they work well too. But anyhow, guys, this week we haven't been out offshore at all because the weather's just been too crappy. So I can't even give you our own personal report. We do get out every week, but we didn't get out this week due to the weather. But I will be hopefully getting out on Thursday. The weather looks like there's a break in the weather on Thursday. And we'll be trying out Jason's new Leader Systems UV rig.
Yep.
So if I could turn the lights on, I could show you how good it looks, but we won't do that today. But they are very electric is probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah, so it's
like nearly neon, like neon
yeah,
signage.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
yeah. So it's main leader itself is not UV, but the droppers are.
And,
So
and the UV light that it comes with
yeah,
just enhances it. And it's extremely good.
looks like a little lightning bolt going to your bait. Looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll give an update on those next time we get out there. But offshore, snapper's the other thing too, guys. So there's plenty of snapper around on the 24s, the 18s, 17 fathoms.
Yep.
There's plenty of jewfish around as well. But you just, as we keep saying, you have to be really careful of that seaway, okay, please? And if you don't know about it, don't go near it.
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to move inside because I don't tell you too much about offshore while the weather's not the best.
That's right.
So inshore, Stuart, seaway.
Seaway, mate. You got a high tide early morning. I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark, which I reckon is going to be smack on dead on the money. Flatties are going to be on. Along that northern wall, there is so much bait in the seaway at the moment. It's all been kind of flushed there. If you want to spin for tailor or dart or trevally type of thing, fish out the top of the north wall,
Yeah.
throw into the wash. You need someone driving your boat and you need someone fishing, and so it's a minimum 2 people in the boat type of thing, just for safety. And if you want to come back and chase a few flatties and stuff like that, come back around that corner and just throw it up into the rocks and let your lure hit the bottom. You want to fish pretty
Perfect tide for
direct.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's perfect tide for it.
And I might be out there this weekend if we don't go ashore, which I don't think we will. I'm using the shrimp with this new, we talked about last week, fantail shrimp. I call them flap tails, but whichever. But they're different as in they have super action and they're super floppy, soft. So if you watch, go to Berkeley and look at their new online,
Yeah, like
or
the new
your
release
YouTube,
lures and
stuff
stuff.
like that,
Yeah.
you'll see these shrimp, and in the water they are just incredible. How
Really
they work,
natural. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's a little pink one. That's a 3-inch. Doug's got the 4-inch. And if you want to,
We've got every colour that they make pretty well.
yeah.
That's available in Australia, and it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if not, I'd be flicking like a that's their little fork tail minnow. So you can see on these ones they've actually changed the tail around, which is pretty smart. Like all the normal minnow tails are like that way, which are they're the wrong way. Fish tail goes that way, so they put it that way.
Yeah.
And that's a real natural colour. That one there is the bleak.
Yeah. That's what
Little power bait.
just like a herring or an anchovy.
Potty or anything.
Let's smack them. I
Yeah.
reckon Taylor, even snapper on those offshore actually, but
Yeah.
definitely Taylor and brim and stuff like that, big flatties.
Yeah.
Um,
And
talk-
if you're going to fish like that natural minnow pattern, fish a light jig head, so around a 1/6 or a 1/8, and probably about a 3/0 hook for a 4-inch plastic, and plenty of hook exposure,
Yeah.
and you just want it to waft down, dart down. Yeah.
I'd be using 1/640 or 1/440 and that myself.
Yeah.
Up on the rocks on the seaway. But jumping pin, we'll come back to the broadwater in a minute, but up jumping area. This last week again, there's been a lot of bait right on the corner on the high tide of the end of South Straddie, northern end, and I just had a customer today said his mate's got long tail there again, but on pilchards.
Serious?
Believe it or not, yeah, on
Okay.
pilchards, yeah. So the long tail, I heard Taylor caught this week there, but obviously the long tail back there again.
Yeah.
But they've been getting them on these little fellows like this type of stuff here, guys, which are tiny little metals. If you can see that, I don't know if you can see that without dropping them. Oop. But they're tiny. That's a better way of showing it.
Yeah.
They're sort of 5, 10, 11, 18 grams. So 18 grams is about as big as you want to cast, which is that size there. So it's quite small still. But that's the thing. But if you can get a line like a sort of little 4 kilo braid or 10 pound braid and cast these little 10 grammers, you will get into them because that's what they're feeding on, these little tiny white bait, and when you catch them, they spew them all up, and it exactly matches the hatch, those lures. And but you obviously can't cast a 120 or 30 pound braid because it's just too thick.
Yeah.
Unless you're using grappler or something.
Yeah,
that's
you don't
really
get
thin.
the distance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a thin one. The other thing too with the high tide this weekend, it's perfect for getting up on the flats. We all know the water's dirty, but there is a window for about an hour around the high tide to get up on those flats, and the water becomes from chocolate brown to sort of milky brown. And I'd be using like this sort of stuff too.
Yeah, the new crossfires, we've still got them in. These are the 195, so 195 mil size. Lots of disturbance, so in the dirty water, the flatties will see them. If you want to go something a bit smaller and kind of play a numbers game, just chuck on those little shrimp that we showed you before, and twitch them around those shallow flats.
And maybe try the lagoon too, either one of the two lagoons, and then the South Straddie might work as well.
They should have some clean water.
Plenty of crabs around, Jacob's Well, Pimpama, mouth of the Coomer's been extremely good. No doubt they'll be up the other way too, up around Russell and that as well.
Yep.
The prawns have been on the last couple of days again, guys. We'll try around Lamb and Coochie and that sort of area.
In that cleaner water.
Yeah.
They don't like dirty water, they're in that cleaner water.
Yeah. And definitely a good tide for them to get high tide in the morning. They also get them the low tide too, believe it or not, after lunch.
Yeah.
And with no wind around tomorrow, I have no doubt the prawns should be get smashed.
Gee, thanks. I was going to keep all that to myself and I was going to smash them Sunday morning, but now there's going to be a crowd.
Yeah, well,
but,
sorry mate.
Yeah.
I'll do it too. So that's probably about it around the pin area. There could be jewies around the entrance as well on that high tide in the morning with live baits, but sharks will be a bit of a problem, I think.
Sharks are a big problem.
Give it a shot
Been
though.
flushed out,
Give it a shot. Otherwise, down the Broadwater, plenty of crabs, I said, around the Aldershots. There's sand crabs around as well, guys. There's sandies and muddies. So I got quite a few sandies this week, and also got mud crabs as well. And I was fishing around that, crabbing around that sort of opposite Sovereign Island area and Kurrajee, and then also around Baby Harbour area as well. Preferably overnight's the best.
Yep.
And the muddies, you're getting muddies and sandies in the same pot.
Yeah.
A lot of muddies around have been flushed out of Coombar and everywhere else.
Yep.
So give that a shot. Whiting, I saw young Wayne Young got quite a few good whiting in a catch this week up the Marang River in that dirty water. He was even surprised he got 16 or something.
Yep.
At night time fishing with worms around the council chambers there, so give that a shot.
Yep.
And it's at Bundle, and also back a wave break, and the banks adjacent to Aqua and that area has been not too bad on the high tide. Really good tide for them as well. And the big thing this weekend is going to be gar. I'll be going chasing gar on that tide too.
It's a perfect tide for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So gar around the southern end of Big Crab Island, and around front of SeaWorld, the banks opposite Lotus Creek, or that sort of anywhere where there's a bit of weed bed.
Bit of weed, bit of flowing water over the top.
Yeah.
Under 2 metres, you're laughing.
Preferably a little bit clear, maybe.
Clearish.
Clearish.
Yeah.
And on the beach, guys, well, no one's been beach fishing because the weather's been 40 knots in 2.5, 3 metre seas. But this weekend, as it drops off, maybe Saturday night might be worth down at Narranack a go. Yeah. Worth a go down at Narranack, or maybe at the hole there opposite SeaWorld car park.
Yeah.
Could be worth a go as well. And further down the beach, definitely sort of maybe Cabarita, or further south again.
Yeah.
Give that a shot. Plenty of bream on the surf as well. When those the mullet are starting to come through, a couple of guys said there's been some big schools, even going Rang River at the moment actually. So there's a few mullet around. So when those mullet around, the tailor come, the bream come, and the jewies as well. Yeah. So you might go for jewie off the beach as well if you've got some live bait or a tailor fillet out on one of those holes at night time. Give that a shot, but we're still going to have 6 to 7 foot waves to contend with.
Yeah.
But anyhow, just to give it a go. On the freshwater side, Stewie?
Freshwater, Hens Dam is currently closed because it is running over. So I wouldn't bother about hooking the boat up and going out there. Maybe go out there and have a look at it going over the wall, and that's about it. If not, there's a few other dams, like I think Maroon should still be open.
You've been to Maroon recently, right?
Yeah, I went to Maroon a couple of weeks ago, fished really well. It was about 100% at the time. It's probably just over now, it's probably going over. But heaps of bass there, easy, good day use area, so you can take the whole family and get amongst them. And it's easy, you don't have to wash the boat afterwards. It's so good. Yeah.
So give that a shot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that's probably about it for this week. Just to let you know too, we've got so much stock coming, guys, of everything, lots of everything. Lures, reels, rods, everything. More than I can imagine most other people. We've been putting stock out all week, and the last probably month actually, haven't stopped, and it's still got cartons and cartons to put out. We've got good deals on everything, and as you probably heard about LV are going to close down their factory. We do have a reasonable stock holding at the moment, but it's running out fairly quick. Some models we have run out of, but we will be hopefully replenished next week. But yeah, if you're welcome to come in and try and get some, we'll put your name down. Yeah. We'll match any price online, and and that's probably about all I need to tell you.
Yeah.
Next seminar, it's on the 2nd of June, and it's on, which is Thursday week. Oh, so next Thursday.
It's next Thursday.
Holy jeez, okay, there you go. It's on Drew Fishing.
Yes.
I'm going to try and get some footage for that before I don't know how. For Dewey. So we got footage from last year, but it's basic as in understanding how to do it. It's just a matter of knowing how to rig your baits properly, how to look for the Jew properly, what to look for. That's the important parts, and rigging up, of course. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll teach you all that as well. We'll teach you about estuary, surf, and predominantly offshore chasing Jewies. But we'll hit the seaway, we'll hit jumping bar, we'll hit the surf, and then we'll focus on the close reefs offshore on how to catch Jewies. So that's on the 2nd of June. Welcome to book into that as well. We're limited to 25 people. I think we've probably got about 10 down already that are advertising it. So you're welcome to jump and give the shop a ring and jump online, and we'll book you in. Okay, there's a cost for that too, by the way. That's about it, Stu, I think.
That's about it.
Yep. So be safe out there. Please be careful of the bar this weekend with you and your family. But get out there and have a fish. It's probably the best weekend we're going to have for a little while, and had for a long time. So enjoy it. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.